Hey, like Muhammad Ali says, the will got to be stronger than the skills. Today wasn't about skills. Today was about will strength. Cause I knew the type of fighter I was fighting. This guy's a triathlon athlete, for crying out loud. And if I was tired, I knew he was more tired because I worked very hard for this. He's never been 12 rounds before. So we knew we had to break him down. Body shots were hurting him. But this is what it's all about, fighting the best. This is the fight game. You know, this is what we signed for.
Today we're stepping into a moment that changed everything. It opens with belief, will over skill, words that sound powerful until reality tests them. Then comes the unexpected turn, a retirement hint that freezes the energy in the room. This isn't staged drama, it feels painfully real. You can hear the weight behind every sentence. A fighter known for certainty suddenly sounds unsure. That contrast is striking. Because when confidence cracks publicly, it reveals more than a loss, it reveals identity in crisis. And that's where this story truly begins.
You can't tell me I'm not great. You cannot tell me I'm not the double greatest since Muhammad Ali. This is what I do. This is what I do best. Now, just to steer it up, I might retire after this. Retirement, man. I'm kind of tired.
This is where control becomes undeniable. From the opening bell, Shakur commands distance like a master technician. Lopez isn't overwhelmed by power, he's neutralized by precision. Every jab disrupts rhythm, every pivot resets the exchange. You can see frustration flicker as clean counters land repeatedly. There's no wasted motion here. This is high-level ring IQ at work. The crowd senses it early. And when tempo belongs entirely to one fighter, the other is forced to chase shadows.
It's millions if you could make hundreds.
Of millions?
Yeah.
You believe you can make hundreds of millions outside of boxing?
I believe so, yes I do.
Well, I understand where you would get your confidence.
Now we reach the real turning point. Round 6 shifts the atmosphere from competitive to concerning. Lopez's corner grows urgent as Shakur sharpens his timing. A crisp combination electrifies the arena and tilts momentum decisively. You can see hesitation creep in. Stevenson isn't rushing, he's calculating. That patience amplifies the damage. Momentum in boxing is fragile, and once it flips, it rarely resets easily. From here forward, the fight feels like it's slipping away inch by inch.
Oh, I'm very happy. The name of the game in boxing is hit and don't get hit. I'm a master of it. I didn't get hit, and I hit the guy more than he hit me, so it was a great performance for me. I'm happy with it.
This stretch exposes separation at the elite level. Every Lopez surge is calmly dismantled by placement and composure. The championship rounds highlight who is thinking clearly under pressure. Shakur's defense isn't flashy, it's suffocating. The final bell brings clarity, not controversy. Scorecards reflect systematic control. This wasn't luck or a single moment. It was layered dominance built round after round. And performances like that don't just win fights, they redefine hierarchies.
Congratulations, biggest fight of your career, and you come up with look like the finest performance of your career. Was that the performance you were looking for?
Nah, I came in here to prove a point. It wasn't the performance I was looking for because I came in here trying to prove a point and I was trying to...
Here, pride meets humility in real time. Lopez begins respectfully, giving credit where it's due. His tone is steady, but there's heaviness beneath it. This isn't excuse-making, it's reflection. You can almost see the internal recalibration happening mid-interview. Loss at this level forces brutal honesty. The lights are bright, the microphone's close, and vulnerability becomes unavoidable. Sometimes the toughest opponent isn't across the ring, it's self-doubt forming quietly within.
Opponent, he came here, he pushed me to another level. He made me make adjustments in there, he made me think a little bit. And I had to show y'all that I'm a dog too. Y'all keep saying that I'm a runner, I'm pillow-fisted, so I kind of stood there in the pocket.
Then the reflection deepens. Lopez speaks about childhood sacrifice and lifelong expectations. This is no longer about tactics, it's about identity. When a champion questions destiny aloud, it resonates differently. He's not blaming circumstances, he's confronting reality. That transparency carries emotional weight. You can sense years of pressure surfacing at once. Defeat strips away illusion. And in that stripped-down moment, we witness the human behind the fighter.
Lopez said, listen, everyone knows I won this fight. 90% of the people here were cheering for Lopez coming in. They all booed him after he said that.
This is the bombshell. Asked if emotion is speaking, Lopez doesn't retreat, he doubles down. The word retirement lands heavy and unfiltered. The interviewer pauses, unsure how to proceed. The arena's energy shifts instantly. Careers aren't meant to pivot in a sentence, yet this one might. It feels less like theatrics and more like exhaustion meeting clarity. Crossroads in boxing are rarely gentle. And this one arrived without warning.
It shocked me. By the way, I don't think he was badly hurt with the first knockout. I think what he was more hurt by was realizing this little motherfucker's coming out there and winning round after round, outlanding him. He knew by the middle of that fight he had to turn something around. And by the way, he gave it a little bit more early in the second half.
This is the bombshell. Asked if emotion is speaking, Lopez doesn't retreat, he doubles down. The word retirement lands heavy and unfiltered. The interviewer pauses, unsure how to proceed. The arena's energy shifts instantly. Careers aren't meant to pivot in a sentence, yet this one might. It feels less like theatrics and more like exhaustion meeting clarity. Crossroads in boxing are rarely gentle. And this one arrived without warning.
If Tio is Gordo, and not just coming in trying to hammer damage, if he's Gordo, you got something going. There's gonna be a lot of IQ up in there. Yo, I mean, which one of the two beat Loma? Which one of the two beat Josh?
Analysts approach the moment with colder logic. They reference past interviews, subtle hints about burnout, accumulated strain. Suddenly retirement sounds less impulsive. Experts remind viewers how unforgiving boxing's timeline can be. Peak years vanish quickly. Sustained punishment lingers longer. When seasoned observers validate the possibility, shock evolves into realism. And realism reframes everything. This isn't drama, it's a potential career pivot grounded in long-term wear.
Teofimo Lopez, from a degree, he does have a high boxing IQ as well. He does. I mean, he was able to deal with Lomachenko. He was able to deal with Taylor and other guys. You know, he does possess a high boxing IQ. He has that explosiveness or that elite athleticism.
Then health enters the conversation fully. Lopez speaks about physical toll, unseen injuries, and the grind of camps. That context changes the narrative entirely. Belts symbolize glory, but they don't shield the body. The sport demands payment eventually. When family priorities surface, ambition competes with responsibility. And responsibility often wins with age and experience. Walking away suddenly feels less like surrender and more like self-preservation.
But I'm leaning towards Teofimo.
Okay.
Just because I like him. I like him more. He's a good friend of mine.
Okay. And then
The boxing world responds with measured respect. Shakur acknowledges the warrior he faced. Fellow fighters urge patience before final decisions. Promoters weigh opportunity against concern. There's admiration in their tone, but also uncertainty. Talent of this caliber doesn't disappear quietly. Yet everyone understands how brutal the grind can be. The division feels the ripple effect instantly. Because when one contender wavers, the entire landscape shifts subtly.
He was the world champion.
There is no comparison to Shakur's style and my son's style.
Yeah.
My son is more entertaining. You know what I'm saying? He has more, how you call it? He has more,
There's that impact there.
what you call it when you have a lot of,
Now legacy stands front and center. Is this the closing chapter or merely an emotional pause? History tells us fighters often reconsider after distance from defeat. Lopez's resume still carries undeniable achievements. But momentum has changed, and perception shifts quickly in this sport. Time will reveal whether this was farewell or reset. Boxing thrives on comebacks as much as conclusions. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.